17 years old, going off to NYU next year for TV and film.
Awesome.
But 3-4 years ago, I started an event and video production company. How can
I think if you're asking what's the next step for me, I think you actually view this next 4 years as a context builder. My hot take is how do you get closest to who you want to be? If you want to be Jimmy Fallon, if you want to be Steven Spielberg, at all costs, you need to work for those people for free. Because the context of seeing it is disproportionately valuable. And now you've seen my man Dogface, 208.
Idaho Falls man has gone viral for his TikTok video.
Is Garyvee your big inspiration?
He has me, you know what I mean? I come across his videos all the time on Instagram and TikTok. He always says, put content out, put content out. I was like, man, maybe I shouldn't post it, you know? And I was like, I don't know. I punched in, I looked at it again. I was like, okay, remember what Garyvee says all the time, post out content, let it get out there.
Dogface, 208, living that actual life. One post can change your life. Stop being insecure. Just post shit. Post it.
I'm in high school right now. I'm like a hair away from dropping out.
Are you in your junior year?
Yes.
And you want to drop out because?
Just want to pursue like my business aspirations.
Dropping out of high school is pretty high risk because the world still gives a shit about that if you ever have to get another job. Nobody hated school more than me, and I was able to eat that shit. Do what I do. I literally did nothing. I didn't pay attention in class. I never did homework, and I got Fs on all my tests. They're still gonna push you through the system. I mean, if you told me I was gonna keep kids in school, I would have paid you real money. Once you understand that you're accountable and it's your fault for everything, you become empowered because you realize nobody's stopping you. Not your parents, not your circumstances. When you take full accountability and it's your fault, it's fucking amazing.
Because then you're in control.
Then you're in control. And that's what really hurts people's feelings, when you feel helpless that you're not in control. You know? Man, accountability. You don't need to order jack shit. Fuck a camera, fuck lighting. Like, you've got a phone. Everybody's reading my books, everybody's motivated, everybody's ordering the equipment. You ever see that guy who like buys Roger Federer's sneakers and wristbands and he's got an $800 racket and then he goes on the court and loses 6 love? That's what I'm scared of. I want you to take the tennis ball and hit it against the wall because that's all you've got, a shitty racket and your wall, and you just keep hitting it over and over and over again. If you are over the age of 22, let me tell you something right now. You want to get happy real fast, and your parents pay for anything, call your parents and say, I'm never taking another fucking dollar from you. It was the thousands of emails that I've read from kids in their 20s who finally reconciled the fact of like, oh fuck, my unhappiness comes from the fact that my parents are secretly paying for my life, which consciously and subconsciously makes me feel like a fucking loser. One thing I definitely want to say to a lot of kids right now is like, you're way more in control than you think. A, on how you see the world. B, on how much you value other people's judgments. C, on how you want to navigate the next 85 years of your life. It's okay that the first 20 years didn't go the way you wanted. You have 80 more. It's optimistic. Yeah. If you realize the government, your parents, the way the dice rolled don't control you, you're in control. You're in control. You paint your narrative. All right, 21-year-old Rick, Sally, it's real simple. There's only 2 core things you need to be doing. You need to be patient as fuck. I mean patient. You need to realize at 33 you're still a kid. And number 2, you need to be doing a ton of shit, moving really fast, trying different things, and figuring out like what you're about. Period. You need to be pulling from opposite directions. 2 very opposite contradictions that will pretty much create the biggest upside in a framework of life. In 2007, me and AJ are up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and my brother looked at me and said, I won't tell anyone. Are you a robot? He's like, I won't tell the authorities. You don't pee, drink, eat, and you're on 24/7, 365 straight.
Are you? How did you answer
I don't believe you.
People are putting out selfish content. They want you to think something about them. They wanted to go to Maui and surf, but did that bring you any value? They want you to think they're cool. I'm asking people to look like educators or entertainers. Do you think about the audience first, or don't you? Bro, everybody starts with 0 followers. Take your fucking phone, turn the fucking camera around, hit record, and say some positive shit and post it.
Let me do this right now. Let me do this right now.
Hey, live fucking life, bro.
Yeah, I love you so much.
I love you back. If you're living your life and you say that sucked, well, you've got a business. Because we really value time, we value convenience. I would walk around life, judge what stinks, and see if there's a way to make it better. Hopefully you're not an anomaly and the only one that thinks it stinks. The idea comes to you, not you go and say, today I'm gonna come up with, nobody does that.
But how do you test it out?
By doing. The biggest thing that's crippling entrepreneurs from winning is their lack of doing.
You have time for one more question?
Yeah, okay, that crazy fucker.
You are my idol since I was in college, and I really want to take a photo with you. May I? Please?
What'd he say? I didn't hear. I didn't hear.
May I take photo with you?
Oh, photo, yeah. Let's go.
Hi.
Hi, what's your name?
Mia.
How old are you?
I'm 10.
So Mia, you like every other 10-year-old, you just want the subscribers and likes to explode overnight, right? That makes sense, right, Mia?
Yes.
It's highly likely that you have to put out a ton of content at the detriment of your homework for the next 10 years before anything really starts happening. You'll literally be 20 before anything good happens. What do you think about that, Mia?
That's great.
That's the answer. Mia, you have to fall in love with the process. The people that lose are the ones who want 10,000 followers tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I wanted to ask if I could sing a song for you.
Sure.
This belly's on fire.
Yeah! You know, I see a lot of people who come to me, introverts, hey Gary, I want to be like you. I want to be out there. I'm like, why? You need to be more you, not a little bit of me. Self-awareness, self-awareness, and then reverse engineer it and put yourself in a position to succeed. When I'm like, don't listen to anybody but yourself, I'll get that DM. They'll be like, yo, I love that. My problem is I'm telling myself I suck. And then I have to DM them like, yo, you didn't. Like, that isn't you. That's your mom or dad that put that in your head. Mm-hmm. And now you believe it and you think it's your own voice. Yep. Nobody starts off thinking they suck. Your mom and dad could have had sex like 3 minutes later and you wouldn't even exist and you're complaining.
On speed? What are you doing? Popping pills?
My brother literally thinks I'm a robot. Amongst my small group of friends, I'm dominant. I eat blueberries like it's my job. The thought of me taking time to make somebody else feel bad is like drinking juice from the moon. You could have ended up being a bus, a tree. I'm gonna kiss one of you, so get ready.
How do you deal with anxious? Because I always struggle so hard with my anxiety, like I can handle it.
You're allowing somebody else to judge you, or you're judging yourself?
Myself.
That's what I felt. To me, you're just judging yourself in the micro instead of in the macro. Micro speed versus macro patience. Macro patience means you're living for 50 years, you don't need it tomorrow. Micro speed is you have 12 hours in a day to get shit done. You're making too many short-term goals.
Thank you so much.
Do you understand?
Yeah, I get it, but I live in just tomorrow and next week and next month.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
I only live on my funeral.
Oh my God.
Are you really not gonna live your life based on somebody's anonymous feedback that you suck? They fucking suck. They're straight fucking trash. That's why I fucking found a dumpster. Let me make this video so that you can point to me so I can say to them, are you serious? Is your shit so fucked up? Is it so sad that you take your time to allocate poison and negativity on other people's stuff? Get out of the way and let people do their thing. I've got to be married by 30. I have to have a kid by 28. I have to have $1 million by 35. I have to retire by, like, every time a human puts a time constraint, they've created a jail of anxiety.
What would you recommend for the young people who are figuring out their thing
in life who are also overwhelmed.
I make decisions every day in 1 second because I know that I won't know the other thing. Let me give you an example. I famously passed on Uber twice in the angel round from one of my best friends. The worst financial decision I've ever made. If I wrote my normal check, and I was writing plenty of checks then, I would have $500 to $800 million in my bank right now, right? It doesn't even cross my mind as a loss, because where I go in my mind is if I did write that check, over the last 5 or 6 years, my brand would be even bigger. I would have been invited to different places. And in one of those times, I might have had to go to China to give a speech, and while I was crossing the road, get hit by a bus and die. No, I mean this. I'm fascinated by people's inability to not understand this shit is not binary. It's easy to make a decision with all these choices and information. Pick one.
I suck shit at school. I'm not stupid by any means. Can I get some video real quick?
You sure can. Amy and Sridhar, what got you successful isn't necessarily gonna get him successful. Everybody's got a different path. Call his bluff. If he's such a big shot and he's so awesome, give him a year to prove it to you, and if he doesn't, drag his ass to university. You have to lose. It's the parent's responsibility to not buy into the self-esteem wrapped up in your child going to a top university. We don't need to boil the ocean. Parents need to make sure their kids are happy. If we all collectively actually gave a crap about the happiness of our children, it would fix itself. Unfortunately, we care more about the judgment of our contemporaries about what our children are accomplishing more than caring about our children. This is an issue of modern day parenting and insecurity and keeping up with the Joneses, not a school system problem. I think if you're lazy, you're actually giving yourself an indication that you don't like it. School, I hate it. I am lazy around housework, around logistics. I think quote unquote laziness can have a more thoughtful conversation of actually, is it laziness or are you showing yourself that you don't like that thing, and it becomes a mechanism to self-awareness, and we need to use it as an indicator of I don't like that thing, this job, this relationship, this school, this startup, and then use it as a starting point to try something else on the side that eventually can become your thing, and you can stop doing that thing that you're quote unquote lazy about. I think it's about self-awareness. I think none of us get to sit on an ivory tower and tell people what to do. You know, do I believe that hard work is an essential part of the kind of success that people define? I do. Do I think working so many hours that it burns you out that you need to retire or quit or you're unhappy in perpetuity is bad? Of course I do. I think this is a self-awareness game, and actually I think it's a much more interesting game of like, do you know why you're working or what are you trying to achieve? I would go crazy sitting on a farm in middle America or doing 28 weeks of vacation. It's not what makes me happy. But I unbelievably am happy for the people that makes it happy. A lot of people ask, how much do you sleep? And my answer is 6, 7, or 8 hours, and it fucks with people, right? Because they think I'm sleeping like an hour. And my point there is sleep's important. Like, I don't know like who thinks they're gonna survive without sleep. What's important for what I'm about is what you're doing when you're awake.